An eventful day in Serie A, some big results to discuss. Let's start, shall we, with Juventus against Roma. Always going to be the headline tie, Gab. Brilliant start from Juventus. Roma, though, getting that equaliser from Tammy Abraham in the second half.
They did. Obviously, it's been a rough week for Max Allegri. Things started so well for Juve. Dusan Vlahovic with a peach of a free kick. Juve then had a goal disallowed, created numerous chances. Look, Jose Mourinho said that after the game at halftime that he was embarrassed by their performance. But then in the second half, Roma moved to a back four, and they got the equalizer. Dybala setting up Tammy Abraham. Dybala, of course, first game back at the Juventus Stadium since his tears the last time he was there.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. Dybala's return, obviously, Gab. How did he perform overall?
It's funny, Mourinho said that he was great. I humbly disagree. I mean, he came up huge in setting up Abraham for the goal, but I thought he had a bit of a lackluster game. I mean, Juve, I can't overstate how impressive Juve were in the first 45 minutes, especially relative to their performance the previous week against Sampdoria. But Roma are really, really resilient, and Mourinho made the tactical change that they needed, got back into the game. One last thing about Roma, people were saying, oh, with all those attacking players, they could be rubbish at the back. Well, they've only conceded one goal all season, and that was from a set piece.
Elsewhere, defending champions remain unbeaten. A comfortable 2-0 win for them, Gab?
Yeah, I'd say so. Bologna, an incomplete team right now. They're still hoping to bring in a couple players before the window closes. Milan went out there. Rafael Leao, Giroud. They got the job done. We finally saw Adli make his debut. This Milan team, they play with so much energy and so much togetherness, and they have the quality going forward. And the great thing is, as I've said before, Pioli has his changers. Here it was Salamakers coming on. It was Adli coming on. He's got a deep team, interchangeable parts in certain areas, and he's making the most of it.
Meanwhile, Gab, we got you on. We got to discuss yesterday's win for Lazio. Impressive stuff against Inter.
Yeah, and I don't even think Inter were terrible. I mean, they certainly, obviously, a defensive error leading to the first goal, but it was more a case of Lazio playing great. Luis Alberto, remember he was supposed to leave in the summer. He wasn't a Sarri type player. Of course, he comes on, scores an absolute peach of a goal. Pedro adding the third. This Lazio side, they have a lot of individual quality. With Luis Alberto, if he gets on the pitch, obviously Milinkovic-Savic. And I don't want to say Inter, took this a little bit lightly, although obviously started Gagliardini instead of Çalhanoğlu, which raised a few eyebrows. But it was more a case that when Lazio kicked it up several notches, Inter couldn't really respond.
Anything else catch your eye this weekend, Gab, so far?
Well, we have some big games coming up tomorrow. We'll get a shot at seeing Napoli again. But really, Torino, they're right up there with the big boys at the top of the table for now. Very, very early, but certainly it speaks to some of the moves that they made over the summer. And one last thing, Milan adding some depth at the back, picking up the German under-21 international Malik Thiaw from Schalke. I think the deal's going to go through on Monday, and it adds depth, and it fits what Milan tried to do by picking up gifted youngsters from around Europe.
Great stuff, Gab Marcotti, as always. Just a reminder then how things look at the top of the table. Of course, early doors at the moment. But you have got 4 teams that are currently sitting on 7 points apiece. AC Milan, Lazio, Roma, and as Gab mentioned, surprisingly, Torino. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.